I'm making this video today in English. I don't really feel like having to use my brain more than I have to in order to translate, so I'll just do it in English. I just want to say that today's not a good day. It's not a good day right now. Where I live, it's not a good area where I live. I mean, it could be worse, but it's not something that I would recommend. I wouldn't recommend people to move down here. They say that living in Southern California is all that, but it's it ain't all that but a bag of chips. A bag of chips is actually much more interesting than this piece of shit city, but that's neither here or there. Today, I haven't been doing good. I've been overworked. I've been having really bad tension headaches that come and go. I say the three things that I stress that I think a lot of people, especially men like me, I don't know how it is for other people, but for men like me, the three things to me that fucking ride me is not having a girlfriend, my health, and when it's time for my ticket to be punched, aka when it's time for me to be put on a fucking spit. And I mean, all of us die in the end, but you pray to God, but you understand that praying really doesn't do anything, no matter how faithful you are, because you pray, you feel like God listens to you, but in reality, it's just a type of feeling that you created inside of yourself. I'm not saying I don't believe in God and I'm an atheist, but I truly believe what Oreo Man, aka Sabi Guy, said when he said that God is merely an observer. God only observes us. He doesn't care if humanity suffers. And I think the reason why is because when we rejected Jesus, when we murdered him, I think perhaps maybe he gave up on us as a result. But I know fasting, I fast throughout the day because I need to stay in shape. But at the same time, you fast and for what, And when you try to eat and you worry about gaining weight again, but then in reality, it doesn't really matter because we all fucking die anyways. And you try to tell your parents, your grandparents, your aunts and uncles about this, and they just tell you that you're negative. But that's the boomer mentality. They grew up in a post-World War II America where financially it was socially, economically, financially, America was a much more prosperous nation. Despite all the problems that it had, things were a lot easier back then. And I personally think it's only going to get worse before it gets better. I think the biggest thing for me that causes these tension headaches, that causes me stress, is the fact that every time I work, I'm fucking tired. I've been overworked, but every time when I fucking go to work, I see hot female clients and customers coming because I work with alcohol. I sell types of liquors and stuff. And it's hard work. Don't get me wrong. And you see all these hot honeys coming in here, and and you can't have them. It's like you're fucking thirsty or you're starving, and there's the fresh water, the agua dulce. There's the fresh food. You could smell it. You could practically taste it on your taste buds, but you can't actually consume it. And I notice this is that as I get older and older and older and older and older and older, the chances of me losing my virginity and kissing a girl and all that stuff, it's not gonna happen. And it's fucked up. And I'm not gonna lie, I know some people say crying isn't manly, but it's not that I cry. It's more as the frustration and the anxiety builds up that tears come out. But I know that crying isn't gonna do anything about it. As far as like being around people and being social, I mean, I am. I mean, I don't know why people say just try to be social. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. I'm around hundreds of people each day, and there's this one girl, she's another vendor. Well, not a vendor, but she helps stocks our stores and stuff, and she's really attractive. I really like her, but I know that she's too good for me. And it's not just her, it's with ever since I was in middle school, high school, ever since I hit puberty, it's always been fucked. And I pray to God, and I know it says in the Bible, he says that Christ said you shouldn't pray for trivial things, because I understand that if God's going to answer somebody's prayers, it should be people who actually need it, like people who are suffering in war, famine, people who are victimized by crime, and all the other stuff that human beings have been dealing with at the beginning of time. But it's fucked up, because it's like your health. They say that stress causes dementia, stress causes cancer, stress causes high blood pressure, stress causes anxiety. They say that stress can what trigger people to take their lives. But the thing that is causing you stress is the fact that you're not getting any ass from a woman, you're not getting laid, and you've been in this position for almost 26 years, and you know that anytime you try to ask a girl out, she's going to say no, she's going to reject you, and she's going to be creeped out by you. But if you were attractive, then that wouldn't happen. And, I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful that, I'm not mentally retarded, that I don't have autism, that, physically I'm all there. But I have severe bipolar, and I also have severe OCD. And if you don't know, bipolar is really bad, and I do take medication for it. But the fact of the matter is that my mental health is gonna keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Some motherfucker pulling in, but it's gonna get worse and worse and worse, and these headache tensions are gonna get worse to the point where it's fucked. I'm so fucking tired. I've been so fucking overworked, man. I can't fucking take it. And I don't know why you women are just so difficult. I mean, I don't know why you women make it so fucking hard. I mean, you women are just so cruel, you know? But women back in our parents, grandparents, great grandparents, they were actually had soul, you know, they actually, because people weren't so corrupted by all the pornography and the modernization, secularization, and the destruction of Christianity. And now women have options, and feminism has ruined America. I think feminism was the most evil thing that's ever happened. I'm not saying that we should be some Muslim totalitarian society, but I do think um, feminism has fucked up the dating scene for men. And I personally think that it's going to get worse. I mean, women, they don't even notice me. They don't even talk to me. They don't want to get to know me. And I'm tired of you fucking people saying that you have to do this, you have to do that. It's like, no, motherfucker, you don't. You know, a woman, and I fucking hate how every time when I see a beautiful girl and I fucking can't ask her out, is because I know she's going to say no. But if I was white, if I had European features, if I had a six pack, if I was a stud, you know, because women of my race, they hate me. I know that Hispanic and Filipino women hate me because they always go out with white men, or they go out with some big buff black basketball mofo. But they fucking hate men. If you're 5'4" and under, you're fucked up in the dating scene. At least in America. I mean, I know it's not like that in other countries, but here it's fucked. And I'm so fucking tired of it. I'm tired of fucking just doing the same shit every single day. I fucking put myself out there every single time. I contact all these people. I try to contact groups, schools, but everybody, it's like human beings are so fucking disappointing, and I just can't fucking take it, you know? And I can't fucking take how the fucking bullshit government has made fucking inflation so bad that people have to literally work 3 fucking jobs just to fucking get something. Like, I literally have fucking nightmares about me not having any money, ending up in the streets, because no matter how hard I work, no matter how much money I save, and none of it fucking matters, is because the government fucking takes everything away, and it all goes to the fucking rent. And then you have your fucking bullshit fucking family that tell you some pragmatic fucking boomer mentality bullshit, and they shoot you down by simply saying, oh, well, we all have to work, or we all have to have money. It's like, no shit. But if you didn't have your head so far up your fucking ass being brainwashed by capitalism in the 1950s and 60s and 70s, then maybe you'd realize that times are changing now. And it pisses me off that nobody is fucking talking about this. And when people do try to talk about it, then we get demonized. We get called weirdos, freaks. I really don't understand why human beings allow themselves to destroy their spirituality, to take themselves away from God, and to become slaves to the physicality of this planet. It's like people in the medieval era, people in the Middle Ages and the Renaissance period were better off, because people back then actually appreciated life, because the majority of the population, they were poor peasants. And if you actually study medieval history, because I know how to read and write medieval and early modern Castilian Spanish, and I know for a fact that life was a lot easier back then, at least in terms of people being spiritual. Yeah, I know there was the Inquisitions, and there was the Reconquista, there were the Crusades, there were the bubonic plague and all that, but really, I shouldn't have been born in this generation. That's what it all boils down to be. I shouldn't have been born in this generation. I should have been born at least in the 1980s, because all my life, I remember I went to this one therapist all the way back in 6th grade, and she said that I had an old soul because I knew so much about history. I had such an elder type personality. I was much more intelligent, much more grounded in reality. I was much more critical. I was much more objective, and I was in this world, not of this world. And I feel like as I get older and older and older and older and older, my jocundity, my happiness, my magnanimity, my obsequiosity, my trust towards humanity becomes much more destroyed. It becomes much more diminished. And the only thing that can save me, rest in peace, Baraka McRae. I mean, I'm not suicidal. I would never take my own life because that's one-way ticket to hell. I mean, even though I said that God is merely an observer, God created the tools for us. He gave us the Bible, but we rejected the Bible. We rejected God. We saw in the Summer Olympics. We rejected it, and we allowed homosexuality. We allowed transsexuality. We allowed fornication. We allowed pornography. We allowed all these things to corrupt us, and now people have no souls. People have no purpose anymore. People are zombies. And it's all your fault. It's your fault. Es vuestra culpa. It's your fault that the Western world is becoming fucked up. It's your fault that guys like me can't get laid. That we have to still jack. And I don't like to be a hypocrite, but it's like we constantly have to jack off to pictures of hot women. Some men become addicted to pornography. Some men become desensitized and start looking up vile, disgusting, aberrant things. Thankfully, it hasn't happened to me because I've been able to channel that. But I can only channel so much of that rage and anger and that anxiety to the point where I'll ultimately lean like the Leaning Tower of Pisa and I'll collapse completely. And people, they say, well, God isn't real, praying doesn't work, like Ricky Gervais, George Carlin, Seth MacFarlane, all those people. But what they don't understand is that those people were all white. They never had to work a day in their fucking life. They came from privileged households. And I notice is that atheists usually, I used to be an atheist because I had a lot of fucked up things happen to me. I saw a family member of mine, they didn't die right in front of me, but I saw their dead body in front of me, and I think COVID, but I was able to get my faith back. But I now know that even when I do even that I have recuperated my faith, I know that things are still going to be difficult because, like I said before, God gave us the tools in the Holy Bible, but it doesn't necessarily mean that He's going to automatically bless you, because the greatest gift that God gave us was free will. He gave us the free will to either better our lives or fuck up our lives. But it seems as if we use our free will to fuck up our lives and to fuck up everyone else's lives. But why? Why are we so Why are human beings, why do females hate average to below average men? Well, it's because we know that men and women were both created in God's image. I do believe that women and men are both equally strong and equally weak in certain capacities. I mean, there's no doubt that the IDF Israeli women soldiers, the Kurdish women, they're excellent fighters. So I'm not going down that road, but I'm saying is that in terms of the dating scene and sexuality, women have basically ostracized us men. And it hurts my soul. It breaks my heart that I won't, and guys like me, we won't experience holding a girl's hand. We won't experience motherfuckers coming back, but we won't experience the things that men of our age should experience, that our fathers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers, great-great-grandfathers, and all of our male ancestors beforehand experienced, but we can't. If I were to tell my grandparents, or if I took a time machine and went back to my great-grandparents' day, if I told my great-grandfather and I said, I live in True Forest Sloan, he would have looked at me like I was fucking insane. Because people dressed up nice. I don't know if you watch Alfred Hitchcock movies, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, you watch The Twilight Zone, you watch old films and old TV shows. Even people back during the Great Depression, during the Spanish flu, dressed up in the nines. They still took pride. Poor Hispanic, Black, Filipino communities, they still took pride in what they dressed up as. But now, since women, even quote-unquote Christian girls in this country, in Southern California, dress up like hoes, and then they have the audacity to be offended when a man checks them out or when a guy flirts at them. I personally wouldn't do that because I'll never give a hoe a time of the day. I treat women like women. I don't treat hoes like women. That's what Barack McCrae said. But, yeah, and that's just how it is, you know? I mean, why do you think so many people are doing trank, doing fentanyl, snorting a line of crack? Everybody does weed now. I still pray to God. Reason why I pray to God is because, like Wahid Succeed said in the podcast, don't put your faith in human beings, only put your faith in God. I put my faith in God not so that He can bless me and give me anything I want. I put my faith in God is because I know that when I die, I'm going to go to heaven. I know that for a fact. Even though I haven't read the Bible in its entirety, I went to Bible preschool. I learned enough about the Bible, and I study the Bible from time to time, my favorite verses. I don't cherry pick, but I study my favorite verses. I read the Reina Valeria Antigua, which was written in the mid-16th century. Beautiful early modern Castilian. Anyways, I read it, and it really helps me to see why lust is such a vile sin. In the Bible, when it says when you look at a woman, you've already sinned in your heart, it's not saying that simply looking at a woman is wrong. Is because we're all men, right? We all like to check out girls, and I've done this, and I think I've fallen into lust again. And like I said, that girl at my work, and I was really digging her. I was really checking her out, and you know, I talked to her, but she was just really disinterested. But that's her. That's not me, you know. And I get these thought processes in my mind, and I start to think, like, could there be un amorío? Could there be a flame? Could there be something? And I get these quimeras, quimerizaciones in my head. And I start, they're pipe dreams. I get pipe dreams in my head. And I really just want to be with the fucking woman. And it just doesn't work out. And you know, I had a fucked up life. I mean, my father was never there, and I think that has a lot to do with it. You know, I think about how I saw a family member of mine dead. I think about, well, I lost 3 family members in less of the span of a year, and it was 5 years ago, but it's still, I don't know if you ever seen someone die in front of you, if you ever had someone that you truly loved in your family and they're gone, you know that it's never going to get better. I just don't know why. You know, my grandmother told me, she said, pray to God and he'll give you a girl, but I know that that's not true. And I know true forced loneliness, you know, one thing is that I hate being as part of this fucking community. It's a pathetic, depressing community, but it's the only community that I got that understands me. And, you know, I just really, all my life, I never understood why girls hated me, why they just constantly rejected me, fucked me over, bullied me, and just disillusioned me. And I understood this because I'm not attractive. You know, today's standards, I'm like butt fucking ugly. And I see my own race of females abandoning me, abandoning us men, us Hispanic Filipino men, us indigenous mestizos. It's just, I mean, the biggest fucking, I think the biggest fear I had is not necessarily dying, but dying and not losing my virginity, dying and not having kids. I want to have children. I want to carry on the family legacy. I want to get my kids baptized. I want to have a woman by my side. But I just don't understand why. I mean, I understand why. It's more just of an exacerbation, because I'm thinking, like, why is it so easy for the tall, buff white guy to get any type of girl he wants? It's because America has been brainwashed by racism to the point where now my own race, I'd rather be with a white man. Like what George Lopez said. He said that they want Latinas want to be homeowners too, because you stay with us, you'll be renting your whole lives. It's because us Hispanic and Filipino men, we've been conditioned to the point to where all of our opportunities to procreate have been fucked. But when we were a part of the Spanish Empire, when we were the viceroy of New Spain, things were a lot better. But that's a different topic. I don't even want to get into that. But I personally think that it's not true forced loneliness will lead some people to kill themselves. I wouldn't do that. I don't condone it. It's horrible. And you will go to hell if you do that. That's a fact. But it's horrible that society has made men feel so defeated to where they have to resort to drugs, alcohol, to self-harm, to pornography addiction. You know the guy who's getting pussy, you know the guy who's getting laid, you know the guy who's getting panocha, who's getting some nice, hot, tight coño. He's not going to a psychiatrist. He's not going to a therapist. He's not having to take lithium or Prozac or Adderall or all these fucking pills. He's not having to do a line of coke. He's not having to do trank to feel good about himself. Because we as men, you know, like what Barack McRae, he said too. And he didn't succeed. Samuel Maxwell, Kent TV, Keen Jamel, Big Boss Calvin, Sabi Guy. There's so many others. Yeah, DBDR, you know, RIP DBDR. But I remember DBDR, he said something, in a video where he said that as you get older, and you still not having a girlfriend, it doesn't look good. Your chances grow slimmer. DBDR said that, and it's a shame that he's gone. I hope he's all right. But you know, God bless him. You know, God bless all the TFLers and the incels who are dealing with this darkness. Like what He Succeed said in a video, The Shadow of Doom. And these aren't people that I just, this is information that I found out long years ago. Almost like 10 years ago. I've been dealing with this ever since I hit puberty. That's fucked up. How I made it to almost 26 years old is a miracle. If there's anything that prayer has gotten me is that I was able to get here this far and survive so much bullshit, which I have. A couple of years ago, I had really bad health. I wasn't in shape, but now I'm in shape, you know, and I'm going to end this video pretty soon, but what I want to say is that don't expect that self-improvement, anything that they say about self-improvement is going to make a woman like you, because I've seen fat girls with super good looking tens, and I've seen dusty ass women with really good looking men, and it's all about genetics and biology. Yeah, that's what it is, you know, and you're in a position to where things aren't working out. You want to solve it, but you're thinking like, why is it not working out? Well, because you're being a busy idiot. You're doing things that can't be fixed, that can't be repaired. It's like trying to resurrect the Roman Empire or the Spanish Empire, or it's trying to perform CPR on a dead horse. Like, it doesn't fucking work. Like, once it's over, it's done. Yeah, but I was scared earlier today. I thought something was happening with me, but I'm just been having these stress headaches and just been stressed out, you know? I have today off, I have tomorrow off, but I'm gonna call out on Thursday. I don't give a fuck. Sorry, I worked at my job for almost a year now. I fucking don't feel like going in. I'm not feeling good mentally. I need a break, man. I'm fucking tired. I'm tired of this shit. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't expect anything to come of these videos. All I'm doing is I'm one of many hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of men who are dealing with true force loneliness. And our voices need to be heard. They always talk about Black Lives Matter, or the the pillow biters and the LGBTQ people, but what about us? That's the real crime. God bless y'all. Keep fighting. Keep soldiering on. Don't become a victim to where you become completely destroyed. You completely become engulfed by the darkness. Try to find some positivity no matter how hard it is. Enjoy life. Don't overindulge on certain things. It's okay to have a beer. It's okay to have a cocktail every now and then. I have a drink every once every other week. That really helps. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't listen to people that tell you things that are completely ridiculous. Like, for example, don't listen to people who say that by simply praying things are going to get better. You have to be grounded in reality, and you have to understand that God gave us free will. He gave us the tools, but it's our free will to what we can do with our lives. And I know that sounds kind of contradictory, because you say, well, why can't you use your free will to get a girl? But like I said, that's not how it works. Women, women, I feel, are very demon possessed, and the good women have been annihilated, essentially, or they've been forcefully had to conform to this society. But it's there's this one YouTuber named Classic Obis. He hasn't uploaded in a while, but you go to places like Africa, the Middle East, Asia, parts of Latin America, parts of Eastern Europe. It's not like how it is in Western Europe or in America. I personally believe if I did have a chance to get a girlfriend, to have to start a family, I have to go abroad. But anyways, I'm done. I'll make another video soon.